What role can machine tools play in building local industries such as automotive, construction, agriculture, and renewable energy? The role of machine tools in building local industries, automotive, construction, agriculture, and renewable energy. Industrialization is not simply about having factories, it is about the capacity to make, maintain, and innovate with the machines that sustain production. At the heart of this lies machine tools, often described as the mother industry, because they build the machines that build everything else. Without them, local industries remain dependent on imported equipment, spare parts, and technology. For Africa and other developing economies, investing in machine tools is the difference between being a resource-based economy and a truly industrialized one. Their role is especially critical in four sectors with high potential for economic transformation: automotive, construction, agriculture, and renewable energy. 1. Machine tools in the automotive industry. The automotive industry is one of the clearest examples of how machine tools form the backbone of modern manufacturing. Cars, buses, motorcycles, and trucks are made up of thousands of components: engines, gearboxes, brakes, suspension systems, and body frames. Every single one of these requires precision machining. Engines and drivetrains, cylinder blocks, crankshafts, pistons, and valves are machined using lathes, milling machines, and grinders. Body and chassis, presses and cutting tools shape steel and aluminum sheets into vehicle frames and panels. Safety systems, brake discs, steering components, and suspension arms rely on precision machining to ensure safety standards. For Africa, where the automotive sector is still emerging, machine tools offer several advantages. Local parts production: instead of importing almost all vehicle parts, African countries could produce them locally, lowering costs and boosting supply chain resilience. Aftermarket support: machine tools enable local workshops to make spare parts and carry out repairs without relying entirely on imports, keeping vehicles on the road. Regional assembly to manufacturing shift: today, much of Africa's automotive activity is assembly of foreign kits. With machine tools, countries can graduate from assembly to full-scale manufacturing. South Africa's auto sector shows how this can work. By investing in machining and tooling capacity, it has become a hub for both local production and exports of auto components. Extending such capacity to Nigeria, Kenya, or Egypt could transform regional economies. 2. Machine tools in the construction industry. Construction is a driver of infrastructure growth: roads, bridges, housing, and industrial facilities. But construction equipment itself, excavators, cranes, cement mixers, bulldozers, and prefabricated materials, cannot exist without machine tools. Heavy equipment manufacturing, gears, hydraulic parts, and structural components for bulldozers or excavators are cut and shaped with machine tools. Steel and cement processing, rolling mills, cutting machines, and presses produce steel beams, rods, and cement processing equipment. Prefabricated materials, modular housing components, steel doors, and aluminum windows are made with machining and pressing equipment. For Africa, machine tools can transform construction in key ways. Local production of construction equipment: instead of importing excavators or cranes from Asia or Europe, African firms could manufacture key components locally. Cheaper housing and infrastructure: if local industries produce steel bars, beams, and prefabricated parts, construction becomes more affordable. Maintenance independence: local tool capacity means construction companies don't have to wait months for imported spare parts when equipment breaks down. The ripple effects would be immense. Affordable housing, stronger transport networks, and faster urbanization could all be achieved with a domestic base of machine tool-driven manufacturing. 3. Machine tools in agriculture. Agriculture remains the backbone of most African economies, employing over 60% of the workforce. Yet, the sector is often stuck in low productivity because of limited mechanization. Machine tools are essential for building the very equipment that can modernize farming. Tractors and implements, engines, gears, and plows require precision machining. Irrigation systems, pumps, valves, and piping components are machined with high accuracy. Food processing, milling machines, grinders, and cutters are used to process grains, cocoa, coffee, and nuts into higher value products. The benefits of machine tools in agriculture are clear. Affordable local equipment. Many African farmers cannot afford imported tractors or harvesters. Locally produced, tool-driven equipment could lower costs and increase access. Post-harvest value addition. Instead of exporting raw cocoa, cashews, or maize, Africa could use machine tools to build processing machines, keeping more value within the continent. Job creation in rural areas. Local tool-driven workshops could supply farm equipment and spare parts, supporting rural economies and reducing urban migration. Consider Nigeria. Despite being Africa's largest cassava producer, most processing into flour and starch happens abroad. With machine tools, Nigeria could build processing machinery locally, generating jobs and capturing value chains. 4. Machine tools in renewable energy. As the world transitions to green energy, Africa has enormous potential in solar, wind, hydro, and biomass. However, renewable energy systems rely heavily on precision machined components. Wind turbines, towers, blades, and especially gearboxes require advanced machining. Solar energy, frames, panels, and mounting systems rely on cutting and pressing machines. Hydropower, turbines, gates, and generators require highly precise machining. Biomass and biofuel, processing plants for waste-to-energy systems need grinders, pumps, and presses. The strategic role of machine tools here is twofold. Building renewable infrastructure locally, Africa could manufacture wind turbines, solar frames, and small hydro turbines domestically instead of importing entire systems. Reducing energy import costs. Producing renewable equipment locally lowers costs, makes projects more sustainable, and fosters energy independence. Imagine Ethiopia producing its own hydro turbine components, or Kenya manufacturing its own solar panel mounts and frames. This would not only reduce reliance on imports but also build industries aligned with the future global energy economy. The cross-sectoral role of machine tools. What ties automotive, construction, agriculture, and renewable energy together is that all depend on machine tools for component production, engines, pumps, turbines, and gearboxes. Maintenance, replacement parts, modifications, and repairs. Innovation, designing new systems tailored to local needs. In each sector, machine tools provide the foundation for self-sufficiency. Without them, Africa will remain dependent on imported machines, perpetuating the cycle of exporting raw materials and importing finished goods. The way forward. For machine tools to play this role in building Africa's industries, several strategic steps are needed. Develop regional machine tool hubs, South Africa for automotive, Nigeria for agriculture, Egypt for construction, and Kenya for renewable energy. Invest in skills training. Technical institutes must focus on machining, CNC programming, and tool design. Leverage local resources. Use Africa's iron ore, bauxite, and rare earths to produce machine tool components. Public, private partnerships. Governments can incentivize local entrepreneurs and foreign joint ventures to set up tool-making industries. Technology leapfrogging. Africa can bypass outdated manual systems and adopt advanced CNC, robotics, and additive manufacturing to accelerate growth. Conclusion. Machine tools are not just another industrial sector, they are the sector that makes all others possible. For Africa, their role in building local industries like automotive, construction, agriculture, and renewable energy is indispensable. Without them, the continent will remain an importer of machinery and exporter of raw materials. With them, Africa can create jobs, capture more value, and achieve true industrial sovereignty. Industrial independence in these four key sectors is not possible without mastering the mother industry. Machine tools, therefore, must be placed at the center of Africa's development agenda.